All right, welcome back to the Never Too Old to Be a Wizard podcast. We have the usual suspects, me, Sam, Catherine's here, Kyle's here. We are talking about the first five worlds? The worlds up to Malistair. We're going to discuss them, talk about what we like, what we didn't like. What we need you to do is, if you're on YouTube, subscribe. It's free. It helps us out a lot. If you're on Audible, we love you the most. Don't tell the others. If you're on Twitch, you get to participate. Okay? And then if you tweet me on Twitter, I'll love you the most. The others have no investment in this. It's just me. Okay?
I feel like you threw out a lot of bull there for a second.
Oh, okay, interesting choice.
Everyone's your favorite?
I don't. Everyone. What do you mean?
You're like, well, Anchor's my favorite. If you tweet me, I care a lot of this. Relax.
Oh, so Catherine's mic decided to not show up today. Catherine's here with us, but Catherine's mic has decided that today's not the day.
Well, bitch, I'm a ghost. I don't know what to do.
Oh my goodness.
Please
stop.
David successfully banning the bots. David, also our #1 moderator, always here participating.
There he is.
All right. Let's go. I'm gonna roll on over here to where any conversation like this has to begin. Unicorn Way.
Oh.
I'll meet you there.
Why are you hating on Unicorn Ways so much?
I said I'll meet you there. What are you talking about?
That sounded upsetting.
It was a little bit.
Listen, we've played Unicorn Way a lot, okay? Being people that buy areas by crowns, we have done the first 2 worlds to death. But Unicorn Way has been updated. I think it's got a nice look, okay? The tutorial's got a nice little thing. This is almost an extended tutorial, essentially.
Yeah.
Teaches you about more mechanics of the game. But
you got the lost souls that'll never go away.
Yeah, always here. Always in trouble. This guy, what is this guy doing here?
One thing I remember, and it's the one thing that haunts me every time I go to Unicorn Way. When you start with those wands that do 45, and you just have to fight one of those ghosts that's 50 health, and you're like,
Don't you, see, back when I played, you started with a wand where you had one of each starting spell. Like one of each.
Yeah.
The ice, the fire, yeah. You don't have it
they were all
that deals damage, yeah.
They'd all be a little less damage than the
actual spell.
Like class, yeah.
But basically,
what am I thinking about? Am I full of it?
Yeah, you probably just went to the store to buy a wand right away because you're weird. But what most people do is they just turn off all of the lightning lizard spell, no matter what school you are, because lightning lizard one-shots everything in this area, and you just spam that.
I'm here. Where are you at?
So thanks for joining us for our guide of how to beat Unicorn Way. I know a lot of people have been struggling.
It's a tough one. It's a tough starter.
But I mean, Wizard City's cool. I mean, it really, as a child, it's very appealing. Like, it's got big kid in a magical world energy, right?
Yeah.
You go over to Ravenwood, it introduces you to all your little teachers. I mean, this is basically the game hub, right? You have to come back here all the time between worlds.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't like Wizard City, you're gonna have a bad time.
I feel like it has the most varied aesthetic to it too, with like having Trenton Avenue and Parkett Alley.
Yeah, they definitely give you a little taste of everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And also, they even have the secret death school under the waterfall, always a classic.
Yeah.
For kids, there's a lot of memes about people that never paid for any part of this game, so they get to level 10 and they're like, I wonder what's under that waterfall, because that's like a paid area. Like, man, I found this door 12 years ago, and I've never been able to go in.
I swear that was one of the first things we paid for.
I mean, Catherine, you gotta get into Nightside. What's in there? Look at it. It's so spooky.
And now they got Christmas trees. You roaming around the commons over here?
Worst part about Wizard City. I mean, I don't really have a lot bad to say, other than, like I said in our first episode, everything looks like a damn sidewalk. Like, no matter what area you go to, it's a cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
It's
even
it's like a gated neighborhood.
Yeah, or heading into the commons for the first time of that day, and it's just...
And your frames drop to 10 FPS.
Yeah, on a 20-year-old game.
Yeah. What can you do? Everybody's riding around with their sweet mounts. Look at these little bunny boys. And Wizard City is it's just where everybody hangs out when they don't have crowns and they just want to talk to people in the middle for some reason.
I have noticed that there do tend to be a ton of people just talking in the
I
middle of
used
the
to
comments.
love Golem Court. It was basically at level 10. It was the hardest area to go to because it was just you see it a lot in later in the game, but they have just a tower of areas that you had to fight one after another without being able to refresh your one potion or anything else.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
So,
those towers get poured.
yeah, but Golem Court used to be very hard, and they're like, "No, this is too
Yeah.
hard. I'm over it," and they took it out, and I'm sad.
Hey, I know.
I mean, it's still hard. Like you see a lot of those in Dragonspyre, but we'll get onto that later.
Mhm.
Let me head over to the second stop, Crocotopia. And I feel like I used to have a lot of experience with Crocotopia, but when we came back to this game recently, all my characters were past it already. So I haven't been to Crocotopia in a hot minute. Like all three of my characters were already past it, except for my death. I guess blew through here, but I don't even remember it. I blew through that thing. Don't even sweat it.
You got a side quest harder, dog.
I mean, Crocotopia. I liked Crocotopia a lot. I think it's a nice contrast to Wizard City. Like it's the first one you unlock, you're like, whoa, look at this. Right.
I'm also a big fan of the like just pure aesthetic of it. I love like the Egyptian mythology stuff, and so getting to kind of like play through the pyramids and the Sphinx and finding those kind of like creatures and stuff is really, really cool.
Exactly. I will say, it looks small here, but I mean, each of the areas, like the pyramid's gigantic on the inside, so it's not as small a world as it. And this boat goes over to another area. It's got a bunch of dungeons inside of it, and then there's a teleporter over here that goes to a bunch of dungeons. So I think it is maybe smaller than Wizard City, but not as much as it looks.
There's like teleporters off of it, and even recently, Kyle and I have come back here to do like a dungeon that opens up when you're like 60.
Yeah,
like they bring you back here. It's got a lot to it. Like
yeah, I think that's the Kimbalong Village one, maybe.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of cool how like they have dungeons where you get to relive the theme of the area, but at a higher level. I think that's super cool.
It's really cool.
I mean, what are the bad sides? There's not enough teleporters in Crocotopia.
Oh, are there any?
Yeah, exactly. This area, like we said, inside the damn pyramid, it's gigantic and it takes forever.
Oh my gosh. You'll walk through the Palace of Fire for 3 days trying to get to.
Yeah, and of course they're like, kill the guy on this end and then come back to the starting door, and then kill the guy on the other end and come back to the starting door, just back and forth. You're like,
yeah.
If you don't have a mount, buy a day mount just to play through this area. Like, just spend 1,000 gold. Come over here to Prospector Zeke, pick up a mount. Don't live that life without the mount.
Don't.
I mean but that's pretty much my only big gripe about it.
Yeah, especially because you said, I think we've talked about this before, that there used to be like no teleporters in the game. Like that didn't used to be.
Yeah, they added them when people complained more about there's these big ass sidewalks I keep walking around and it takes forever. And they're like, okay, because in Wizard City there used to be none. So I would still have that complaint about Wizard City if they hadn't fixed it for some of the areas.
But in Unicorn Way they still don't.
Yeah.
Which was weird to me because I had to walk all the way to Lady Hope or something.
Yeah, but you don't have to go to her that often. You do it like once or twice. I feel like.
But I was still so upset.
Yeah, a teleporter would be nice, but it's fine because literally the next area you go to, like if you go to the Fire Elf area, Fire Cat Alley, boom, teleporter.
Yeah, teleporters got me a little spoiled. If I'm being honest.
Exactly. So these are very much we're complaining just about efficiency of blowing past this area, but if you're here to enjoy it, I don't know. I don't think you can just soak in more scenery by walking more here though, because a lot of it looks the same in Woods, right? Like
yeah,
like the aesthetic is cool, but one corner of a area looks the same as any other.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one. This one's got a theme to it, but the next one's got a lot of. Honestly, I thought it would have more flavor to it. I think the hub town in Marleybone is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, what was it, Regent Square or whatever?
Yeah.
This is by far the
rest
coolest
is
part.
The same rooftops.
Yeah, the rooftops completely ruin this world. Like if the whole world looked like this, it'd be completely amazing. But instead, you're constantly inside of either clock towers or on roofs. And
I think thematically though, this one's my favorite.
The theme is very cool. I love that they're all dogs because Sherlock Bones. and it's called Marleybone. Yeah, a lot of it's very fun. And I will say, like, yeah, just going from Crocotopia to here, this world looks beautiful. Like,
I love it.
I just
I'm
wish
all
it all
about
looked like this though.
Fair.
Yeah, because the roofs, yeah, every area is a damn roof. It's just saddening.
Yeah, it's you just keep going to different roofs, and
And
it's
then
like,
even-
oh look, I might be inside of a building, and then it's another
The
roof.
dungeons are just roofs with pit stops into buildings. Like, yeah. So the theme fell apart in the where you actually have to go places, but yeah, the idea
it
for
was
the
a great
theme-
idea.
Yeah. Great idea. Seems like it might have been rushed execution. And if we want to talk about the story points, I think this is where you get into they're really kind of fluffing it up here. Because you're chasing around Meowiarty, who I guess is working with Malastare towards some end, but it doesn't really matter. Like, you just see Malastare for like 1 second at the end of this world, and you're like, oh, there he is. He's still around.
Just a tease. Honestly, just a tease.
He's still doing stuff, you know. Don't mind him. But yeah, what?
As we know about stories, I don't read them. So
Yeah.
what I know is Malastare. So everything in between was kind of just filler for
Which
me.
is honestly true, because I mean, even when we watched the documentary, they said, well, we knew where we were starting and we knew where we were ending with Malastare, and everything in between we kind of filled in. And I'm like, yeah, I can tell.
It's fun to play, but I'm not really interested in.
Yeah, I think Wizard City, every guy you fight in Wizard City, they say, like, I was sent here by Malastare to screw shit up so he could do stuff while I'm distracting you. Like, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then you get to, there's a lot of stuff about the Necronomicon in the second world, Crocotopia. So there's some evil book Malastare needs for his plans, and that's what is the whole crux of that. And I couldn't tell you what they were trying to do here, other than Meowiarty was up to no good.
You know him, and then is the dungeon here the Jekyll and Hyde?
Yes.
Yeah, it must. Yeah. So you already. I actually didn't do it. So how is the Buckingham Palace one?
Oh, it is pretty
It's
rough.
tough.
Is it cool though? Like, does it
Yeah,
It's-
hold up the theme better than the rest of the world?
I would say it's actually really different, which is exciting because I kind of forgot about it until Catherine just brought it up. But it is very much like you're on a blimp is more what it is. Like you start out inside of the building, and then of course you do have to go to a rooftop. But the rooftop is honestly very much just a like moving point. You don't actually have any fights on there at all, and you just move through there, and you actually go up into like a big like air blimp to do like the final boss, and it's pretty fun.
That's cool. Yeah, I definitely want to try that out at some point then. That sounds like
feel
a
like
cool
it was-
show for sure.
I don't feel like it was extra on like more on theme than the rest of the world. It was just a tough buy. It didn't seem like there was a lot. It doesn't seem like there was a lot of in it thematically for me, because there was more of just like a couple of fights, and even I think it's two separate dungeons. So the first one was like 4 fights down this long hallway, and the second dungeon was like 1 fight, and then you're up to who is it, Jekyll or whatever, and that's it. They go very quick with their hard fights.
I thought it was the same person, was Jekyll and Hyde. Like, 'cause, I mean, obviously thematically.
Yeah,
that's
sorry.
That would
Yeah,
make
yeah.
sense. Yeah.
But that's what
It
happened.
is.
It was like every few turns, like it switches
He
from
turns
Jekyll
into
to Hyde.
yeah.
That's
They
cool.
each have different sheets.
That's
that
a cool
that
idea.
was probably the coolest part.
Yeah.
But that was just like 1 fight at the end.
I mean,
So I was
one
like,
cool
eh,
boss
Yeah, it's
can
the boss
can
fight.
save a dungeon, right? Because I mean,
Fair.
the reason I think I enjoyed the Mount Olympus one is just because of
Fighting Zeus.
not Zeus, the one
Or
before
not
him,
Zeus,
the spear guy that everybody farms
okay,
for the
yeah.
spear, and he wrecks kids. Because me and Catherine just kept trying him, and we're like, why are we getting wrecked? That's the first time we actually had to look up cheats. We're like, this guy's destroying us. We can't hit him, or he just wrecks us.
Yeah, level 30 is where you learn about cheats, apparently.
If you go there, yeah.
Jeez.
You want to go talk about, because I guess after Marleybone you should be ready for Mount Olympus, which did I never go to Mount Olympus on my death? Sure didn't. Guess we're not going there.
No, it's not a world. You access it from.
It's in Wizard
Cyclops
City. You
Light.
go on the
I
chariot.
thought once you got there though it would be here.
No.
No,
Okay,
no,
well,
it never is.
And I'll roll over there. I'm gonna count that as a side world because it's more just a series of dungeons you can unlock, but
Yeah.
I just think it's cool, and I want to go look at the aesthetic real quick. But before we get there, let's talk about some of the other side worlds, or do you want me to go to theirs as well? I don't feel like we need to. I'll talk about this when we get there, because Wisteria, I think the aesthetic is important because the theme of that comes through stronger than anywhere else, I would say.
Yeah, that one's very. That one's extremely like across the board, theme wise. Grizzleheim is all over the place. I don't know.
Let's go to Grizzleheim here since he's right. I can pull up to him. Talk about them first when it comes to side worlds. We hit all the wait. Are they not gonna let me on the boat? Let me on the boat. I want to get on the boat.
No, you gotta. You can't do all this.
Boat, please.
Stop.
Guess we're going to the Olympus.
It's just good.
That's how you first get there.
You want me to? You want me to go to Grizzleheim and you can tell?
Well, go to the world. Go to Wisteria for me. Set up for that, because I think Wisteria is lower level than the later parts of Grizzleheim, but they're pretty similar for further on. This is not where I'm supposed to be. What am I doing?
I did Wisteria before I finished Grizzleheim.
Yeah, I mean,
sure.
so I mean, I know Kyle's gonna say side worlds are worth it, but while we're here, do we? If Catherine, do you think to tell everybody, hey, it's definitely worth it to buy and play through all the side worlds, or you feel like it wasn't really worth the money or time?
Yeah. Oh, I don't want to advise you to be poor, but I want you to do it.
I don't want to advise you to be poor. Oh my god.
Like, I don't want you to spend all your money on this game, but I think
if you have a membership, I think you should check them out. I think they're cool.
Yes.
But if you're buying areas no, I straight have not been here on my death. Look at this.
If you are buying areas, do every side quest though. Get your money's worth.
I gotta actually go to my myth. I have not been there.
Just stop doing all this. You want me to go?
It's too late.
I could have just gone there. I'm in Wisteria waiting for you.
Listen, I'm at the door already. You go there. I'm gonna go to Wisteria.
What the? I'm in Wisteria. Okay, let's talk about Wisteria.
It's too late. Wisteria. Here we go. Look at that loading screen. Perfect encapsulation. Silly little pigs. An angry teacher. This is where they kind of took the idea of their Harry Potter tie-in. Like, obviously, you're in a school for wizards, for children. Kind of that child fantasy aspect. And they're like, well, what if there was a rival school? Insert Wisteria. Bunch of little pigs with weird outfits. And honestly, I think it looks dope. And I think the areas actually don't look all like dumb rooftops in this one.
No, not at all.
Like, instead of Unicorn Way, they have Pegasus Palace, which I just realized is probably named after.
They have like Tanglewood Way. Definitely, you said Pegasus Palace is named after one.
Yeah, and they have the cool dungeon tower, the Elephant here. I mean, it's still all sidewalks, right? But there's more scenery dressing here, I think, than when you're at Wizard City.
Yeah.
I
think that world, honestly, is pretty useless. There's a dungeon you get there at 60, which is like
this is the spot. This is the only reason you would ever come back to this world is for Tower of the Elephant.
Yeah. Very, very, very rough.
Oh my gosh, Kyle and I are level 68, 60. What are you at? 70 or 69?
Almost 70.
Okay, so we are very high level, and we could not make it through the first fight. We both died several times.
Really? Is it because of the cheats, or it's just they're just tough?
Everything.
Oh wow.
Cheats and very, very, very tough.
The second guy will like keep tower shielding himself until you kill the first guy, and they're both like 12,000 health, and it's just painful.
But I mean, look at this. Here's like the regular area of everything's a sidewalk, but you get up here for a peg. Look at this, right? This is way better than a rooftop or a sidewalk. This is just a cool area.
That looks good.
Got the Pegasus all up in here. Look, Wisteria. It seems strange to me that Wisteria seems so short, but like I don't know if this is when they started to get their new art team on board, but it seems like it's really drawn out and designed more aesthetically.
It's very pleasing to the eye, but we did the whole entire thing, side quests and all, minus that one tower, in one afternoon.
Yeah,
So
it's short,
Very,
which
very little content.
which is again the why I say for side worlds, if you're buying the areas, you can definitely pass on this one.
I would agree.
But if you have the membership, I think it's a fun little pit stop for sure.
yeah, I enjoyed it.
And if you want to do it, I'd do it at level for it, because I mean grinding. Unless all you want is the story and you don't care about it, I wouldn't do it at max level.
Even remembering now, running through that, it was very much talking quest. It was very. I remember one of the quests that that was just like the longest little chain of it was running around like collecting missing books from students
From
all around
different
the
students.
city.
There was
And you
one.
had to like find them yourself.
I remember one that infuriated Kyle because they were like arrange these flowers, and then he did it, and they said that's bad. Do it again.
I remember that one. I did that one too. That one is so rude.
It's infuriating.
That's very much the comedy of this game, is there where they're just they know that they're pissing you off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're like, no, it's not us. It's the character. It's them building out the character. The character's pissing you off. Are you at the Olympus?
I am. I'm in Mount Olympus.
All right, let's go to Olympus. Oh, let's go to Grizzleheim. And then I'll go to Olympus.
In Mount.
Just chill at Olympus. Look at this Rainbow Bridge to start off. Really gets it strong on the like, you know, Nordic feel you got going for it.
Very cool.
And
Very
look,
fun.
That rainbow bridge
and look at
like
this man.
sticks out to me.
Tell me one character that looks cooler than a big ass bear with an axe, like in Wizard 101.
I'm sorry. Go down the hill a little bit, and I'll show you a cooler character.
Down, okay.
If you could down.
You're sitting me to Nick Jonas. Is that where I'm
I'm
headed?
sitting in a Nick Jonas
All
because
right.
you had to.
Listen, here he is.
Hey, gang.
There he is.
Oh,
Tell him.
shh. I want to hear Nick Jonas. Shush your face. No, he's talking. We already missed it. We gotta wait for him to finish. All right, here we go. Oh, here we go.
Hey, gang. Thanks for checking out my music, and I hope you enjoy the new Winter Tusk area of Wizard 101. See you in the game.
See, he's already hyping you up for the next world after Grizzleheim. Good stuff. And unfortunately, like Grizzleheim and Winter Tusk, you don't need to get through the story. But if you're someone who hates doing side quests, there are spells for every school that you can only unlock from coming through here.
Mm-hmm.
Which I say,
And
unfortunately for those people only, because it's a cool area, but it is long.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Winter Tusk is like good XP.
It's good XP. It's
As well.
actually, there's a boss there that you can farm for gold really efficiently, like once you're higher level. So that, like, it's a very useful. I think you actually do need to buy these areas if you want to.
Grizzleheim, I would say you have to.
You don't have to. But
Grizzleheim's
I think
also
You don't
very
have
fun.
to, but I would.
Yeah,
I would.
and it's cooler.
Mhm.
Look at this boat, huh? Look at it. Right. And then the dungeon that's like hidden across here is super.
No, go down under the waterfall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this dungeon
Okay.
over here is super dope. I don't think I've gone through it on my myth yet. I'm
It was-
almost done with Winter Tusk on my death.
It was tough, but I think Kyle and I were
We were
about
pretty
the right
set
level
for
for
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was difficult, but
Let me tell you,
Doable.
because you can just walk. The first dungeon you can just walk to the end, and there's like 4 bosses, right?
Yeah.
And I got rolled on my death. Oh my gosh. I
Kyle
could
and I
not
did
kill
do the
this
thing
guy.
where we died and teleported back to each other.
yeah.
I did the thing where
We
I
did do
teamed
that.
up because I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that.
It's definitely one of the harder things to solo because normally soloing you expect to have a boss and a mob, not 4 bosses. It's rough.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's go to Robert Dreamhaven.
Here I am, Brandon.
This is
Hey, Brandon. I'm not doing it.
Brandon. All right, this is Mount Olympus. This is not even much of a. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that.
You look so majestic here.
Yeah, I feel like my outfit is
Very
really
much
on point
fit.
here.
Yeah.
But look at this thing. I want to fight it. I don't even think you ever do, but I wanna. If they ever come out with a world that has this thing in it, or a dungeon that has this in it, I'll pay for it. I'll do it. I'll get my money. That's the kind of content I
Or the
pay
one-time
for.
dungeon that you get for your house.
That'd be
Yes.
so cool.
I haven't. I got another house dungeon. I don't remember what it is.
You're
Like we
crazy.
did the. I think I'm gonna wait till max level till I try one of those again because that
That's fair.
Archmage Meowie already destroyed us.
We got wrecked.
Next time I'm
Oh
gonna
my
read the
God.
cheats before we do it too.
Yeah. Could you?
But look at these areas. So thematic.
Until I was waiting for you, I hadn't even come down here before.
Look at this. Look at
Like
this.
down here by the smoke.
Tell me you don't want to go in there. Look at this. I want to go in there so bad. Tartarus? Actually Tartarus.
I mean, pretty cool. Pretty sweet.
Don't we? Shouldn't we have? 70 is when the next dungeon unlocks there, right?
I skipped side quests. I wouldn't know. I'm deaf.
Okay.
I'm 80 something.
Sam said if it wasn't something I immediately had to do, I didn't do it.
I'm only 58, so we haven't even gotten the chance to do waterworks yet over it. Which like is another one of those dungeons that brings you back to Wizard City to try out that underwater area that I think most people probably would have missed if you were just blowing through the game. It's a pretty cool extension. Right Avenue.
It looks like a long one though.
The dungeon is gonna be rough. Yeah.
It's gonna be a minute.
All right. I mean, there's really not much more to say about this. Cool bosses. It's a very cool expansion. Yeah.
I wouldn't say that we can comment that far because we haven't.
Yeah, we've only done this one, but I mean, just looking at the aesthetic of the world, I'm super excited about the others based on our time in Mount Olympus and
I completely agree.
the whole aesthetic. This is such a boss. All right, where are we off to next? Where is this thing? Is this a world door? Where does this take me? Where did I end up?
Well, I'll take you back to
teleport to me. I'm in Mushu.
bosses.
I feel like it's sad that I forgot that Mushu was the next one.
What is that?
I've played a lot of Mushu lately.
I think that visually, Mushu might be my least favorite.
Least favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it is strong with the theme, like just looking at even the world door here. And it definitely feels the most green, like the most non.
The weeb in me is a very big fan of this world.
The weeb in you, yeah.
Yes.
See, but I feel like I don't know why. I'm a bit of a weeb too, but this goat is not doing it for me. Like the goat stuff guy.
That's fair.
I love the cow samurai. I'm all about, but the goats and the fat pigs really turned me away from the. If I'm being honest.
The elephants were kind of fun.
I like these guys. I don't even know what this thing is. Like what animals?
Where are you?
Almost looks like a baby goat. I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't think he's a baby though. He's holding his back like he's an old dude.
That's.
I think it's cool because I don't know if this is where they decided it, but it's probably Marleybone. But they decided that they were gonna have specific worlds that each type of animal basically came from. So this is mostly the home of the cows and the such, whereas Marleybone's where most of the dogs come from, and then all the lizards come from Crocotopia.
Yeah.
So I mean, cool spot. Definitely strong.
But y'all really enjoyed this world visually?
Yes.
See, that's what I'm saying. I think it was nice that it was different, but I don't think I did love it.
The only part I don't like about that world is the Tree of Life.
That thing was like 2 minutes long. What didn't you like about it?
Yeah.
The fact that it was 2 minutes long.
The fact that it was not the area itself, just the fact that there's so many areas. There's like 3 areas you get to from that one. And just walking all the way through each of it because there's no teleporters over there is very just.
It is gigantic, this area, and some of the dungeons are pretty long and unbearable if you accidentally miss like the Z quest or the book in them. It's
or
like,
the book.
Oh
my gosh! Please don't even get me started.
But then there's others that are super short. Like the last boss is kind of nothing. This was one of the biggest disappointments. The Jade Oni was easier than almost every other boss I fought.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's just weird. I feel like I was actually having trouble at the beginning of this world with all the storm bosses, storm pigs just slapping me so hard and stuff. And then I get to the last guy. I'm like, what have I been doing this whole time? I'm breezing through.
I agree.
I mean, again, the hub is amazing. And it really, I feel like all the hubs for the world really show you like this is the peak aesthetic of what the world's supposed to do, right? It's supposed to amaze you when you step in the door.
Yeah.
And then
I think while it's true to theme, I just don't enjoy looking at it. It's not it for me.
You don't like this cow with the weird giant smile on the statue?
No.
Yeah, it's not great. It's like I feel like it could have been cooler. Like Grizzleheim takes its bears very cool, but I feel like the only cool guys around here are these cow samurais. Like the bull samurais.
Yeah. The elephants, though.
The elephants, you like the elephants? See, I think they're ugly.
I agree.
I think they're intimidating,
they're
but I think
cool.
they're ugly.
I think they're cool.
I don't know.
They're probably the coolest
I don't.
to me.
I feel like Mushu's probably my least favorite world, if I'm being honest, of the starting
I'm
world.
telling you.
I wanted to like it, but I feel like when I
It's-
got to Krokotopia, I'm like, wow, this is so amazing, and I never really lost that because I guess maybe it was just because it was the first time I stepped out of Wizard City. And I get to Marleybone, and I wanted to love it, but the rooftops ruined it for me. And then you get here, and I'm like, thank God, no more Marleybone. And then halfway through this, I'm like, I miss Marleybone.
Ow. And then you're thinking, this is where the Balance Wizards live. You know what I mean?
Well, they live in Krokotopia, Catherine, where the balance teacher is. Why do you have so much beef with balance wizards?
I don't know.
You're alienating our audience.
I'm so sorry.
No, I'm kidding. All right, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Me and Catherine spent years, way longer than it should take, to get to Dragonspyre. And it honestly, it lives up to the hype a little, right?
Oh my gosh, this is when you know the game was afoot.
This is
Malistaire is here.
Yeah, it's the world's a little long, but for a final like boss world, it's pretty dope. It's very big boss energy. I feel like I'm in Bowser's castle. You know what I mean?
It's. I don't even think it's crazy long. I mean,
I didn't even
I
realize
think the
you
whole
could
quest line is like
see
106.
106.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that the dragon that you see with Malistaire is already up there as soon as you can. If you look up at the volcano, Malistaire's dragon is already right there.
No freaking way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I never noticed that. I noticed the volcano.
Wow.
I never spotted that dragon.
No, I never scrolled up like
Yeah, that high.
air.
Yeah.
Wow. I did notice when you first get to the area where I don't know, where you have to ride the dragon to his dungeon. The dragon's always there. Like as soon as you get to that area,
And
he's waiting.
And if for some reason you're somebody who doesn't want to pay for membership anymore, you're kind of tired of the game, and you have 1,000 crowns, and you're only going to buy one area, I think it's this first area in Dragonspyre, because Lore Master is here, and it gives you something to do for infinite replayability. Farm Lore Master all day. Here we go.
I mean, I think that would get very, very boring. But if you were,
Listen, if you're trying to play Wizards without spending any money, you're not going to have fun. But if you just need to get Wizards in, play some Lore Master. People are pretty friendly farming Lore Master because they've all resigned themselves to their fate. But I think it's interesting. The humans here look so much cooler. Have there even been many humans in other worlds before this one, other than like Malistaire and Ambrose?
Wizard City. Yeah.
There's actually humans here in full armor, and they look pretty sweet. The units here look much cooler. Then there's a bunch of draconic guys that look super.
Dragons do look really, really cool the entire time.
Yeah.
yes,
Even the little baby dragons look cool.
this theme is pretty much all the way through.
Yeah, full
This
boss
is
castle,
very-
full dope. The first area has all those big winding spirals where it's kind of hard to follow the quest tracker, but I'm not mad because it looks cool. And when you
This is very
actually get
pleasing.
into Dragonspyre Academy, and it shows you like this used to be, you know, an actual school for wizards, and parts of it they got
Yeah.
the big flaming tree. It's got a cool, varied aesthetic to it.
Yeah.
They really went all out on Dragonspyre. You can tell the middles were filler compared to. I feel like yeah.
I was gonna say they better have gone full out with it being like the end game for however long before expansions came.
Yeah, before the next worlds came out, this was it, right? This was, you were supposed to finish this and be like, ah, that was cool, right? It's
What
like
a good game.
It's like how people say you only remember the beginning and the end of like a movie. That's what they were going for. They only wanted you to remember Wizard City and then cut to Dragonspyre. Tutorial Dragonspyre.
Honestly, though, when I got here, it was all worth it. I was so psyched to get here.
Actually, Sam, like a little child Sam inside of me was like, oh my god!
It was the most exciting thing that had ever happened to me. Like,
It's a little sad it took us so long, but
probably.
and look at listen, the one ride you don't skip. The young battle drake riding up to Malistaire's lair, riding through the lava.
True.
So spicy.
Oh,
My god, the build up to actual Malistaire.
the dungeon to like actually go through and fight them was a really fun one too. Like there was actually quite a few like the puzzles to figure out and stuff. And
There's cool
it was
puzzles.
interesting to
The
figure out.
fights are challenging, except for some reason I feel like Mouser was the least challenging fight. You just whoop him.
A little bit.
Feels like Mouser and the
it.
two right before him were super easy, but I know they say that that's newer. Mouser used to be upsettingly hard for people.
Yeah.
So, I guess once they decided he wasn't the end game anymore, they're like, people at this level shouldn't suffer this much. We're not trying to turn players away. Crafting it. I see. How cool that is. Why is that here? I don't know, but I love it. Look at that hammer. Oh.
What a good end game, honestly.
Honestly.
You're about to enter
So what? I guess I want to get y'all's takes before we close it out. What are y'all favorite, least favorite world? Like rank them in order and tell me why.
Wow, that's a lot. Okay. I would say dragonspyre probably number 1.
Okay.
Do you want like all of them in order, including side worlds?
Yeah, sure.
I
You don't have to get. You just say which ones you. You don't have to put them in an exact order. Just like which ones you like the most and which ones.
Okay, good. Much better, way easier. I very much like, honestly, Grizzleheim, even though it's kind of a side world, had a really good time there.
It's really cool, yeah.
And you
really
get
cool.
a lot out of it, I think. I enjoyed.
I have to argue that Grizzleheim itself you get nothing out of. Like it's just for fun. But the second world, which you have to beat Grizzleheim to get to, you get a lot.
But you even get quests while you're still in Grizzleheim before you go to Wintertusk.
Yeah, but I'm
not
saying
quests,
those
sorry,
quests. You get one spell in Grizzleheim and one in Wintertusk. So that you do have to. But if it was just Grizzleheim, you get like 2 XP for doing all of Grizzleheim. Like 1 per spell.
I mean, but I did get fuel out of Grizzleheim, so.
All right, fair enough.
Kind of worth
Listen,
it.
I'll stop poo-pooing your idea. You tell me what you like to do. I'll stop cutting you off.
No, you're fine. I like those two. I really like, honestly, the roof thing y'all are talking about with Marleybone. It didn't bother me. I really liked the theme of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just the Sherlock Holmes, that was enjoyable. I think those are probably my top 3, maybe. Ones that I feel like are not as important. Mushu was never aesthetically pleasing to me. I think Wizard City got old because I played like 6 characters through there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Wisteria was just too short. I think it was fun, and it was nice to look at, but I don't like how short it was. And then I think the other one I didn't talk about was like Crocotopia.
You didn't like Crocotopia?
So, it's in the middle there.
Oh wow.
It's not on like a pro or con list. It's just fine.
How about you, Kyle? Because you've seen them all in their newest polished state. So which ones do you think ended up the best?
So I would probably put Dragonspyre as my number 1. I thought it was really cool. I mean, like we just talked about, it was very, very well built out for an end world for like the beginning of the game. I would actually probably put Mushu at my number 2, just because I really like that aesthetic. It's fair for Catherine to not like it, but for me, I'm a big fan of that kind of like Japanese culture stuff. Following that would probably be Grizzleheim. It's just a very fun world. It has so many different aspects to it. Like even with most worlds will have that one theme and stick to it throughout. This one, even like it has the Viking kind of theme, but it goes from like the woods, so you have kind of like the deserted woods where everything's kind of chopped down, and following that, even you have the like winter areas.
And it's got kind of a progression like into the evil like underlying the world as you get.
Yeah. Following that, probably just like the classic Wizard City. Just gotta shout out to the OG where we were always out. Yeah. And then honestly, after that, there's not really like much that I cared for. I mean, Crocotopia was definitely cool, but I mean, like Wisteria and Marleybone were just really disappointing to me. so I really don't care for those too much.
That's fair.
Fair.
Yeah. You know, the more we talk about it, the more I think Crocotopia actually gets my favorite spot, which is weird. I don't know if it's a weird nostalgia because, like I said, I haven't been there in a hot minute because I've been playing all the other worlds. But I just feel like when me and Catherine finally decided we were going to pay for this game, we liked it enough, and the first place you get to is Crocotopia. Oh boy, I was stoked. I felt like my money was worth it. I'm like, oh yeah, I made the right choice. Look at how cool this spot is. I just feel like Crocotopia was definitely the least let down. I mean, Dragonspyre is super cool. It'd definitely be probably number 2. But man, I like Crocotopia. And I love these lizards. Look so cool. I mean, not these old ass alligators look creepy as hell, but these lizard boys. Oh, look at him with his creepy fingers and his little mustache. Oh my god, so good.
I love salamanders. I really do. Whatever they are.
They're the best.
Oh my gosh. But I think back nostalgic wise, Crocotopia is very up there. That makes sense to me. When it's like that big exciting thing, the first thing you do after Wizard City.
Especially because Catherine, me and you, this is the farthest we got for a long time, right? So all of our characters that we actually liked they would be in Crocotopia. Like our favorite characters, they were in Crocotopia. And then once I started like trying to push past Catherine, I got to Marleybone. I like Marleybone alright, and then I feel like Mushu, I just fell out of, like, that's when I quit the game for a long time. I was grinding through. I think it was because of how unpleasant it was to solo on Storm through Mushu. It was just not fun. I didn't like it. So Mushu's pretty low on the list. And the rooftops put Marleybone low as well. So I think, yeah, it'd be like Crocotopia and then either Dragonspyre or Wizards. And then the other 2. And then Grizzleheim would be above the bottom 2, and World After Grizzleheim would be above that. And then Wisteria. Where's the intro screen? Thank you for joining us again for the Never Too Old to Be a Wizard podcast. If you made it to the end, you're a real fan, and you already know where the socials are, so I don't gotta tell them to you.
Thanks, Dad.
I told them to the fake fans at the front. Thanks for watching. We will be back in 2 weeks, as is our usual schedule nowadays. Deuces.
Bye, everyone.